tired of it.
In the football game, right?
Even
the
Barry
football
Jackson
game.
is
Enough is enough. That's what I've been saying. Hello.
I don't know a lot of people caught that, but it was a good one.
So we see Brewer's been limited with a pectoral this week. Do you expect to have him Sunday?
I think based upon, physically, that would be, unknown. I would say I'm hopeful, just based upon the captain leader that he is. But that will be to be determined. We'll see how it progresses.
And with Campbell and Dodson, are they both out Sunday?
Yeah. So they'll be out, and realistically, we're just making sure T-Dot gets himself through the or gets better each day, so he can get through the protocol.
And with Tua, was it the hip that's troubling him? Is it the left one that caused him to miss the last 2 games last season?
Okay, so it would be different hip than last year. Same hip, but completely different injury. So unrelated to any other hip related issue was what he was getting treated.
And as soon as with the thumb, is he still able to grip the ball normally?
Yeah, he fully participated the whole week.
Well, I was going to ask you about comment yesterday. Kenneth Grant just happened to mention matter-of-factly that coaches have begun attending player-led meetings. And is that something that you instructed them to do?
Wait a minute. That'd be kind of confusing. It's a player, right?
It could be player-led with coaches observing them.
No, it was, and that's by player request only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Has it happened on both sides of the ball?
I can't say with full certainty across the board in every room. I know it's occurred on the line a couple times, but I think they're building upon what they started kind of last year, which is traditional later in the week, not rally meetings, more opponent study and communication meetings. And, I think some of the guys requested that some of the coaches go to it for various reasons. And, yeah, I told them, what else would you do better than coach? So that's all it was.
And one thing that I connected to is Jordan Brooks said yesterday we have to learn how to prepare better among players. And he said we've done that this week. So, and when I said, what do you mean by prepare? He said, well, just knowing things to expect among ourselves. So I wonder if that correlates to bringing in coaches. Do you know if it's happened at linebacker and the defensive line? It's obviously happened with Austin because Kenneth was the one who mentioned it.
I think you're going down a good direction. Follow your internet sleuth nature right there. I think you're on it.
Just to make it official, Tua is starting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike, this team has always had a good fighting spirit, I've seen. What have you seen from them so far this season, and then this week specifically in that regard?
I've seen them, have well-intentioned failure, resolve, failure again, some success, some failure, and I've seen a consistent, really ambition and effort on the front end, and I've seen people kind of evolve with the process and stay together and try to improve in win, lose, or draw. So this week in particular, the focus was on having convicted football. That was, I think one of the things that, we fell victim to is our team, too early in the game played not to lose. Well, and that's not how in anything that we train, anything that we talk about. convicted, aggressive football that we're playing together because we're confident in our techniques and fundamentals and understanding how those fit with our teammates. So I've seen the players take that message, apply it in practice for 2 days, apply it in the meeting rooms. And, the key is to continue that application. And then the most important thing is to apply it versus the opponent in the game. So I'm very happy with what has transgressed this week so far. And my expectation is to build upon that today and have a focused group on playing the Chargers and nothing else.
Mike, you've got some experience against the Chargers, but how have you seen this team change since Jim Harbaugh took over last year?
I think every team is different. I think I don't look at it necessarily as much as Chargers versus Chargers team. I talk about it a lot, and I mean it. I think every team's kind of different. What I've seen as a tangible focus is a team that comes ready to play every week, a team that is fully committed to utilizing the skill sets of their skill position players, particularly the quarterback. They have a very good line of scrimmage play, and I think there's no there's high strain all over the tape. So I think consistent with Coach Harbaugh is a 3-phase unit that competes from the first snap to the last. I think they are a team that the game could have gone a multitude of ways with the Commanders last week, and they are hungry for some redemption. So we're going to get their best, and I think that's something that I would expect from a Coach Harbaugh team for sure.
When Mika goes to the nickel spot, I don't know what the game plan is, but that's what he played last week. What do you lose and gain at safety?
Well, I think it's more Mika Fitzpatrick does a phenomenal job playing the post and seeing the quarterback, and he has a very wide range from the deep part of the field, and depending on who you're going against and what the challenges are presented, if you got guys trying to heat up your seams, when he's playing, closer to the line of scrimmage as the nickel, you don't get those assets. But I think that's kind of, constructed off of how we play football, and we try to utilize him in situations where that post play he can be a factor and take advantage of ball skills like we did last week on a tip and overthrow. But what you gain is a football player that's very adept at executing all the nuanced things that you have to execute when you live in what they like to call the triangle, where you're between 2 and 3, playing the alley. You're a hybrid backer, but you are a coverage player, and you can essentially play the C or B gap while also being involved in underneath support coverage, and you can disguise and end up playing half or post from that nickel position. So yet what you lose in terms of the starting alignment, deep post, you gain in versatility, and you can even get them there from that position as well. So we like to utilize it mainly because he's really good at it, and he feels confident and brings his game up. So generally, when we're moving players around, their most utilized position, or if we're featuring that, it's because they're supremely comfortable, and we see it as a value added.
Do you think Storm or Sid might be available?
Yeah, I think going into the game, I think we'll end up having Storm is questionable. He hasn't had any setbacks, so we'll see how that goes. and said will be available.
With the other cornerbacks in terms of Anthony Weaver talked about how they're auditioning some of those guys to play nickel. How do you decide and determine if a boundary guy goes inside? Is it just physicality, tackling, instincts?
Yeah, there's, first and foremost, you have to have some change of direction to cover patterns that are in or out at the 5-yard area where the quicker guys usually are around. You have to be very adept at tying into keys. So you have to be able to react to run and pass very fast. So it comes with instincts and vision. And then you have to be pretty good with your hands generally to be able to not only reroute receivers, but play off their blocks. Because again, like I said, you're kind of a hybrid backer when you're a nickel player. So there's many ways that it can be done. You see smaller stature players with quickness that play super aggressive, like the reason why you guys knew who Mike Hilton was because he made a name on being a player like that. Or he could have length and strike, and be able to leverage blockers and cover or disrupt routes with your length and be able to be firmly planted in coverage and run fit.
On the dirty kickoffs, this article says that dirty kickoffs, the average opponent start is around the 20. In general, the average return after a kickoff is around the 30. So 20, 30, and then obviously the penalty for missing the zone is the 40. So I'm kind of curious, as a play caller, when you begin a drive at the 20, 30, or 40, is that actually a significant difference, or is it sort of statistically insignificant?
I would say the way I view it is especially because I'm not sure if I should model all of my decision making after that article. But no, I just thought it was funny that you referenced that article. Nameless, that article. Research says, I think it was Siri or maybe it was. So realistically, when the effect comes when you get something when you're 35 or 40, just because you know that you're pretty much one explosive away from points. You know, you get a 15 or 20 yard play, specifically at the 40. Then you can be in 4 down territory, or the next 8 yard gain, you're right on the fringe. So to me, not necessarily trying to get the explosive, more so that if you have a first down or two, and you can do it by 3 yard gains. If you have a first down or two, you're in position to get on the scoreboard. So I think as a play caller, your mindset goes to the trying to achieve that, just a couple first downs. When you're in normal receiving territory, it doesn't really change my mindset if it's on the 20 or the 5. You get inside the 5 and you have the safety and the backed up issues. But whether it's 92 yards to go or 80 at the front end, it doesn't really alter anything.
With the green dot, obviously you don't need to tell us the decision that you made, but would it impact his game if he were the green dot player?
I think it would. First of all, a lot of people are capable of doing it. It's do you flourish while doing it, because you are on the front end. Your job is to get everyone's table set so that they can do their jobs. and he would be capable. However, it might, that those communication patterns might adjust his versatility, that we can play him where if you're a primary, secondary communicator, it's probably too much to communicate, to the front guys as well. Now, that being said, I think for us, the process of having various, green dots during the practice week is that we have the potential to use all of them during the game, and it forces a lot of people to over communicate, which is never a bad thing. So I think we're strength in numbers. It's although we've it's a setback anytime you lose a really good player like T-Dot. I think we're trying to seize the opportunity in the numbers of both KJ and Willie, and being able to have JB work those communications isn't necessarily a bad thing. And I think overall, the more we communicate and the better we communicate, the better we'll be off.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.